Ladies and gentlemen and esteemed guests, I can't tell you how disappointed and sorry I am to not be with you at this hugely important event that you're all attending in Istanbul today. Not for the first time in my life I've been grounded, not by my parents this time, but unfortunately by a chest infection. So I really am very sorry not to be with you, and I can't think of a time in history really when we've needed events like these more. Open, collaborative, bringing together the people that fund and discover and help grow new businesses around the world that of course help us all make a difference to society when it's so sorely needed. Babar and the whole team at the World Business Angels Forum, I can't congratulate you enough. I send my warmest wishes to you and thank you again for all your efforts to make this happen. Also to the sponsors and my good friends at the London Stock Exchange, Luca and team, thank you for your support for this event. You're in a wonderful city, a city that needs events like this. So again, congratulations. I was asked to come and say a few words in my role as both the business ambassador for the UK in the industry of FinTech, also as the chairman of Innovate Finance, which is the industry body, and also for my own selfish part, perhaps to mention to you that I and my colleagues are putting together a fund to invest in the FinTech industry. FinTech is not a new thing, let's be crystal clear. Financial services technology has been evolving ever since computers first came along. It's become a thing, it's become a fad, it's become an industry simply because it really is starting to hit the main road, as we say. The rubber is starting to hit the road, and enormous amounts of capital is flooding into the FinTech industry on a global basis. Why is FinTech suddenly such a big thing? Well, 2008 changed the way we think about financial services. It changed the way that the regulators think about financial services. And with Moore's Law and technology becoming so prevalent around the world, consumers are unquestionably taking back control of their own data. We know that. Building up for life for fixed assets, which is what really happened for the last generation, isn't on the mind of the millennials. Airbnb means I can stay wherever I want to stay, whenever I want to stay. Uber means I can order a taxi whenever I want one. And technology companies around the world are bringing me what I need when I need it, and sometimes telling me when I need it when I don't. So that's happening in financial services, but it's a different game. Financial services is about fusion. It's about a golden rule of 10% of a big number is a lot better than 100% of nothing. And in the UK, we have worked incredibly hard over the last decade to create the right ingredients for that ecosystem to flourish. We have a regulator that is incredibly open to working with fintechs, with startups, working with the industry to look at what the roadmap of regulation might look like, and then help people test their solutions against that so they don't go down a cul-de-sac or raise money for a product or service that has no chance of getting to market. Why is that so important? Because this is people's money. This is not crazy frog ringtones. This is looking after the way people pay their families. And also the fact that 4 billion of us have had access to financial services, but there's 2 billion, 2.5 billion that don't, is not acceptable anymore. Technology means the world is flat. The world is open. It means that everyone should access basic financial services. I need a loan to insure my crop. I need to feed my family. I know that I've got a good cycle coming in 3 months' time, but I need the cash flow today. All the things that we benefit from and take for granted need to be available around the world, and FinTech is making that happen. In emerging markets, they don't have the legacy of the bank platforms that have been built over M&A and 50 years of technology integration. We can leapfrog through mobiles to touch the parts that other technologies from banks have never been able to touch. So back to the UK, we have an open regulator. We have a lot of talent, and let me just dispel any myths that there are out there about talent being able to work in the UK. People that work in the FinTech industry, highly skilled people, people who may have worked in banks, people who have learnt about writing bank-grade PCI technology code are always going to be welcome in the UK and always going to be able to to work there. FinTech as an industry is fundamentally about access to all, and that's absolutely the way we approach it. We also have an industry agnostic approach in the UK, i.e. we're not just there to protect the banks, but we do recognise that FinTech needs fin to be successful. 37% of Europe's financial services industry is based in London. Long may that be the case, and I can assure you this government and all of us in the UK are working hard to make sure that we sustain our leadership role in financial services. FinTech is a big part of that. So as well as talent, we also need capital, and that's where you all come in. The UK historically has been outstanding by any measurement at seed rounds, at friends and family, at putting together enough capital for an idea to get going. And also at the other extreme, particularly because of our Great London Stock Exchange, we have been very good at investment for large-scale infrastructure and companies. In the middle is this growth, is the M in SME, is the Mittelstand, as they have so successfully in Germany, and that's a big focal area for us in the UK at the moment, and we have many FinTech unicorns, many FinTech companies that have a chance of becoming billion-dollar-plus companies that we're now making sure get access to the right capital. So FinTech is a space that I'm hugely passionate about. I've been in it for 20 years. It's only really just beginning. It's 1 minute past midnight if you look at the size of the prize and the opportunity. We in the UK open our arms to all of you. This is a personal invitation. Please come and visit us and come and talk to us about your FinTech interests, whether that be as an investor, an entrepreneur, an existing bank. We'd be delighted to see how we help. And the presentation I was going to give will be distributed by Babar and his team, and I hope that you find some of the information in there interesting. I'm devastated not to be with you, but I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I wish you all an outstanding conference. All the very best.